Welcome to the Makerspace. Hope that you have fun down here, either doing student projects or even some personal projects of yours. We like to keep the place inviting and well stocked, so you'll find lots of materials and tools that you need. One thing I need to do is ask you to help keep things neat. So as you're done working in the Makerspace, please put things back in the bins. That's where you'll find everything. And not only put in the bins, but put the bins in the right spot. So let's say you want to find craft thread. Where's the craft thread? There are over 50 bins in here, so if you put something in the wrong spot, here it is. Put something in the wrong spot, people are going to be hunting around for it. So clean up your messes by washing your brushes. There's a sink in the back, and generally keeping things a little bit neater than when you came. So if you do want to use an X-Acto knife, make sure you protect the table. So here are some cutting mats so you don't cut into the table. And let me show you a safe way to use the X-Acto knife. When you're cutting with an X-Acto knife, please make sure you cap it when you're not using it. And as you're cutting, please make sure you're pulling away from your body. Never make it go towards your fingers, and leave the cap on when you're done in case it drops. You don't want it to hurt anybody. But what happens if you do get cut? If you get cut, no matter how small the injury is, please go to the nurse. The nurse can make sure that your wound is treated properly and it doesn't get infected. If you do need to get a gauze or some bandage to go as you're going to the nurse, there is a first aid kit by the door. But there's an important thing to consider too, is that if there's blood on the surface or on any of the tools, please let an adult know so they can clean it up properly. Otherwise, it poses a risk of transmitting bloodborne pathogens. Bloodborne pathogens are microorganisms like viruses and bacteria that cause hepatitis A, hepatitis C, and HIV. So the adult will help make sure that the surfaces are cleaned and that any blood on blades or tools goes into a special sharps bin that'll be disposed of safely. If you're using a hot glue gun, don't use a cutting mat. You don't use one of these silicone mats. And the nice thing about the silicone mats is it makes cleanup a breeze. The glue just comes right off. There's a sewing machine, so you can make little stuffed animals or fix some clothes. The process is pretty straightforward. But if you don't know how to thread a bobbin or thread the sewing machine, use these QR codes. There's plenty of YouTube videos that tell you how to do things. We have a serger, which is also a sewing machine, but it also overlocks. Which means that it covers the edge of the material as well to keep it from fraying. There are woodworking tools too. If you're going to be working in this section, please wear eye protection. There's a foam cutter. You turn it on, this gets hot, and you can just cut different shapes out of foam. Don't forget to turn it off, and if the wire breaks, there's a QR code in the front to tell you how to fix the wire. There's a vinyl cutter, and this computer has a program called Sure Cuts A Lot that drives the vinyl cutter, and so you can either type create something on this application, or import an SVG, a vector graphics file, and this thing will be cut. Now you can transfer the vinyl from this roll to your device, or to wherever you want the vinyl to go. We have a laser cutter that can cut acrylic, wood, fabric, things like that, and it's controlled by an app. First you have to have a drawing that you'd create in Illustrator and export it into an SVG file. And then once you do that, you can send it to the laser cutter. There is a 3D printer, so you can design what you want to make in a CAD package like Onshape or Tinkercad, put it into a slicer, and make it into a file that the 3D printer can print.